that on Friday, Timothy Haslett, a 39-year-old white man, was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and raping a 22-year-old black woman. The woman escaped his home while he dropped his child off at school. Now,
on October 7th, a terrified 22-year-old black woman escaped from a home in Excelsior Springs. She told police she had been locked up there for about a month after being abducted from Prospect Avenue in Kansas City by a man who lives in the home. The man, Timothy Haslett Jr, 39, is in custody facing charges of rape, kidnapping, and assault in Clay County. The woman told neighbors and police that she was restrained in a small room in Haslett's basement where he repeatedly raped her and beat her. She managed to escape when he took his elementary-age son to school. The woman told a neighbor and police something else. There were other victims, she said, whom women didn't make it out. The woman's escape and Haslett's arrest occurred a month after the Kansas City Defender, a black-owned news publication, republished a video of Bishop Tony Caldwell, a community and a church leader, altering the public of assertions that at least several black girls and women are missing from the Prospect Avenue corridor. We've got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week off of here at 85th and Prospect, Caldwell said in the video. We got a serial killer again. After the video went viral on social media, the Kansas City Police Department released a statement calling Caldwell's assertions completely unfounded. The department makes the public aware of every homicide it investigates, the statement said. It said police had responded to 1 homicide of a woman in 6 weeks at a location not close to Prospect Avenue. Several local news outlets, which had not reported on Caldwell's allegations, did not report the police rebuttal. Authorities in Kansas City and Excelsior Springs have told news outlets that they have not found a link connecting the woman in prison in Haslett's home with any other reported missing or murdered women. A police investigative squad in Clay County is working on the case and searching for any other victims. But the woman's emergence in her story of being abducted in Kansas City has roiled black leaders and residents. They contend that the events are proof that the police don't take reports of missing black women seriously and that mainstream news outlets are too quick to accept the police version of events. I'm tired of hearing these excuses. I'm tired of hearing people thinking what they know instead of going to the people and seeing who they are, said Gloria Ellington, the founder of GYRL, a nonprofit she started in 2000 with the mission of empowering women, especially victims and survivors of domestic violence. Ellington is part of the group searching for missing women and girls along the Prospect corridor. Caldwell said he began to fear the welfare of multiple black women in Kansas City after he helped a father search for a 15-year-old girl who went missing from the area in mid-September. The teenager was eventually found, but in the process of looking for her, Caldwell and other canvassers ran across information about other missing girls and women. All this information started coming out as we were looking for a totally different person, he said. Local activists say it isn't uncommon for young women to go missing from the area generally known as the Prospect Corridor, which frequently records some of the city's highest crime rates. 2 years ago, Caldwell and others conducted a search for 38 individuals they had been told were missing. Out of that, 32 of them happened to be African American, and we were unable to find 13 of them, he said. Nationally, of 300,000 missing girls and women reported in the U.S. in 2020, a third of them were black, according to the PBS NewsHour. In Kansas City, the proportion is the same. Black Kansas citizens are acutely aware that concerns about missing women are too often to prove correct. In 2004, 47-year-old Terry A. Blair was charged with murdering 6 women near Prospect Avenue. He was convicted in 2008. The recent confluence of events has also raised questions about whether Kansas City requirements for initiating a missing person investigation are too stringent. According to KCPD procedure, an adult missing person report will be completed when a preliminary investigation determines that the person was last seen in Kansas City and meets an additional requirement, such as being under professional care for mental health issues or under the threat from a domestic violence or another reason. While the requirements for reporting missing juveniles are different, parents still confront issues in trying to complete the reports. We had a lady there today that talked to us. She tried to file a report with her daughter and it didn't happen, Caldwell said. They told her, "We don't even know if you have a daughter or not," he said. The father of the 15-year-old girl whom Caldwell helped search for in September came to him because of roadblocks he confronted in trying to report her missing to the police department, Caldwell said. He found us out because our name was already out there of us doing certain things like this in the community, working with the people that nobody else will work with, Caldwell said. A long history of mistrust has also left members of the black community with a reluctance to disclose information to the police. We all know that a lot of people in the streets do not trust police, so they don't talk to the police about certain things, Caldwell said. With things going on and on about police brutality, a lot of people, if they have information, they're still not telling the police because of the distrust and the walls that have been built up. But they'll talk to us all day long, the community leaders, he said. Residents of Kansas City's black community are also calling out local news outlets, saying they help to perpetuate the silencing of black Kansas citizens. We know that we have been incarcerated at a higher rate, so we know that most of us will be disfigured in our commentary to the media, so we do not talk to them, Ellington said. Ellington said she regards the willingness of the news outlets to rely on police response as the only and last word, as typical of the media's disregard for her community. Many black Kansas citizens depend on social media to get the word out, she said. We never had that backing, and we never relied on the media to be our friends. So the word of mouth is the strongest information you can get out here, she said. To talk to each other gets the word out whether somebody comes with a camera or to write. But we're at the point now that we're sick and tired of it, and we're not asking for their permission any longer. The kidnapping story and allegations that concerns about missing women were not being taken seriously have drawn reporters from national news outlets to Kansas City, and as interest shows no signs of subsiding, advocates say they are receiving more reports of missing women in the area. Caldwell called police in Kansas City to do a better job of hearing and working with black residents. Instead of trying to alienate people, they need to learn to embrace people, he said. How they word things means a lot. This community is already hurting. Don't traumatize us anymore. We still have people missing, Caldwell said. Our thing is, let's bring them home safely. So this is a public announcement. So according to the police, the woman was discovered around 8 a.m. on Friday, October 7th, when she reportedly banged on doors and pleaded for help. It was reported that the suspect kept her in a small room in the basement that he had built. He kept her restrained in handcuffs on her wrist and ankles. In addition, Haslett whipped her while she was restrained. There were injuries on her neck and back that were consistent with the description. She was wearing latex lingerie and had a metal collar around her neck with a padlock and duct tape around her neck. This is crazy, and these are the type of stories that we cover. I don't know what to say about this one. It's not hard to believe that this is actually happening in 2022, but I guess when you look up on these stories and you actually read them, and as you're reading it or looking into it, it is shocking. And this is just a guy that got caught. Imagine, out of all the missing reports that they have in that area, how much of this is actually going on still, and people that got away with it. We have to protect our people. Platforms like this and other platforms, our job is to promote what the media won't. I can't even begin to imagine the healing process of this woman. I'm not going to give too much of her information out because she's already been through enough. I think the bigger story here is, what are we going to do about this guy? I mean, this is insane. We're going to keep tabs on this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We upload daily. Peace. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go follow my Instagram. We putting in work.